Later today, the government is expected to announce their green list of travel destinations, potentially opening up summer getaways abroad for holiday-hungry Brits.
Yep, I am certainly one of those. Passengers travelling to countries that make it on the green list won't be required to quarantine when they return to the UK. So would you feel safe travelling abroad this summer?
And I think a lot of people feel that way, don't they? Well, joining us now is our very own Dr. Amir Khan and travel consultant Paul Charles. Now, we don't know until the announcement officially, but already lots of rumours, Paul, about which countries will be on the green list. What's your money on?
Yes, we're going to hear at 5 o'clock this afternoon that all-important list. And my money for the green list is definitely on Portugal, Malta, Gibraltar, Israel, and then a clutch of British overseas territories like Bermuda, Falkland Islands, some of the places that we may not usually go to, but the wider the list, the better, because it proves that you can travel safely and responsibly. And the government's going to take a bit of a cautious approach. But the good news is the majority of countries that we like to travel to, like Turkey, Spain, France, Italy, they're likely to be put on the green list at the end of June. So that bodes well for summer holidays.
Oh, it doesn't bode well for me. I've got flights to Spain, which I, took as a punt for the 16th of June. I mean, they're only, 30 quid each way. So I just thought, why not, right?
That's a good...
Now, if I can't go, I won't go. Sorry?
A few weeks ago, did you
I did that a couple of months ago.
OK.
Just to say, to see if it's possible. If it's not possible, we won't go. So, I mean, maybe I will get to go, maybe I won't. I'm sure there'll be lots of people that will be in that situation. But what do we need to do, Amir, in order for us to be able to go overseas? Is it vaccine passports? Tell us more.
OK, so we don't really know what the government have in plan for these green-lit countries. At the moment, anyone on a green list travels. So if you're travelling to a green list country at the moment, you have to take a PCR test before you go. You don't have to quarantine when you come back, but you do need to have a PCR test on return as well. And that may add to people's costs. So those 30 quid flights you've got there, Alex, may add up when you have to pay for these additional PCR tests. But some holiday companies are subsiding them, actually. TUI have come out today and said they will help pay for people's PCR tests for travel, so that may help.
It may do indeed. Paul, that actually what Dr. McCann's saying there, that you might have to have extra factors go into it. One survey says that actually 70% of people think that people should quarantine in hotels when they come back, even on the green list ones. And, of course, there's also a question, so that would put up the cost of your holiday. There's also a question as well, isn't it, that travel companies might suddenly have to put up the cost of holidays too.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be bumps in the road over the next few months, but I think there's a desire and an importance in getting people travelling again, if only to see family that they haven't seen for a year or so, or their fiancés abroad. You can't live in this state where we don't travel ever again, so it has to be opened up safely, and it can be opened up safely with wider testing. Dr. Amir is right that the tests have got to come down. We're seeing travel companies start to do that. And I think the travel sector's got to be more flexible in offering refunds and rebooking during this fairly bumpy time. And they are starting to do that very effectively now after the distress caused last year. So it does bode well. People can book with more confidence, knowing that should the list change, and it might change every 2 to 3 weeks, in terms of notice being given for a green to move to an amber or a red. We need to see less of that distress that was caused last year. And that's why this summer should be a lot stronger.
I mean, confidence, as you say, might be growing, but how confident can we be that we won't end up bringing back more variants, Dr. Amir?
Yeah, this is the question. So the PCR tests do help, and they help us prevent spreading the virus to other countries and bringing it back. But the problem is we don't know how well other countries are testing for variants. We do it really well here in the UK with genome sequencing, but other countries don't do it so well. And we don't know where the next variant is going to come from. We've seen even with the Indian variant, yes, there are clusters developing through community transmission now, but the way it got into this country was through foreign travel. And that's really important to stress. The other thing to bear in mind is that the UK is full of beautiful holiday destinations as well. And perhaps people should think about that before booking foreign travel.
That's true, but they're going very fast. A lot of those are booked up. Now, if someone, Paul, wants to do what Alex did and bag himself a bargain, it may not yet have worked out for you for Spain, but we don't know.
Yeah. And I will follow the government guidance as well.
Of course.
I won't go if I can't.
But if someone, I'm assuming the countries you've listed that are likely on the green list today will not be cheap because people want to book them. What are the next ones that are likely to come on board, in your view, so we can get ourselves a bargain for later in the summer?
It's such a good question, Kate. Lots of people are asking that at the moment. Yes, prices are rising, obviously due to demand. And don't forget, holiday firms need to employ people. Prices will go up because they lost so much money last year. So you can probably guarantee that it's going to be pricier to travel. But there are bargains to be had. And if you look at the next tranche of countries which are going to fall into the green list, then you're looking at France, Italy, Spain, before the end of June. Their rates are coming down, their lockdowns are working, their vaccination rates are going up. And so by the end of June, I think you'll see most of Europe opening up. So I'd be booking now for end of June, but obviously booking via a travel agent or a tour operator to make sure that you've got that added reassurance, and also make sure you take out insurance and that your policy covers you should plans change due to COVID. But insurance companies are becoming a little more flexible and putting into place policies which allow changes due to COVID rules changing.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Good tip there. So that sounds quite positive. You might still get your bargain Spanish holiday.
You never know, but I think there'll be lots of people that will end up switching destinations, and obviously that may come at a slight cost. It may come at no cost at all. So we'll have to wait and see. But, you know, like Dr. Amir said, actually holidaying here in the UK is very much an option. However, when I try to book a holiday in Cornwall, nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere till October.
Paul
Charles, thank you very much indeed, and Dr. Amir Khan too.